two, how are you today? Hope you're enjoying the weather. Apparently it might change a little bit later on in the week, so do get out and have some fun, but make sure you get all that learning done. Okay, so it is Wednesday, the 3rd of June, and we are looking at PSHE today, and today we're going to be looking at cycles in nature. So this is going to be the last PSHE lesson that you'll see of Mrs. Lang. And next week you'll have something slightly different. We're thinking about perhaps sending you some activities that you can think about whilst you're thinking about transition. Usually you would be in school and we'd be thinking about transition when you're going up to year 3, thinking about what you like, what you don't like. So we'll be thinking about perhaps more activities to do with that. Also, remind you as well, as part of your PSHE, it's really good to see what you think went well this year and what you think you might want to improve. So we are going to be writing reports, so it'd be a really good idea if perhaps as part of your PSHE lesson, you write down about what you like and what you think you might want to improve for next year. What went well for you this year? Lots of things went well, I know, because I've just seen your amazing work. So have a really good think. Thank you if you've already sent those in. So it's something that we as the teachers can write about people's comments. So make sure you do that for us. And let's get on with today's PSHE lesson. So, the same drill, Mrs. Lang's got a little bob her head. Let's go, Mrs. Lang. Right, okay, so life cycles in nature. Let's look at our learning objective. So it's to recognise cycles of life in nature. What does that mean? So we're going to have a look at that a little bit more. It's a little bit sciencey because we have had a look at some life cycles in nature before. Okay, so what I want you to take from this lesson, what you need to do to be successful, is to understand that as humans, when we go through our life cycle, there are changes that are outside our control. And I want you to really think about how you feel about that. Let's go on with the lesson. So remember, anytime you want to, pause the lesson. I will be sending you an activity to have a look at and you compare. So you can write the information there, or alternatively get your book out now. Make sure that you write the date. Make sure that you write the learning objective. So again, pause this video. It is life cycles in nature. And as I said, there will be another activity that you can do as well. It's really good sometimes just to be able to write things down as you go along. Okay, next slide, Mrs. Lang. Right. Okay, because it is PSHE, remember we like to do that really nice, deep breathing. Now, I would like to play this. Let's see if we can just take a moment out of our day and breathe. There we are. Let's see.
Hi, my name is Zafu. I'm from the book Zafu's Quest, and today I'm going to teach you how to meditate. I love to meditate because it makes me feel super happy. Will you join me? Great! First, you will need to get very comfortable.
Are you comfortably
sitting
comfortably?
And cross your legs, or you can lay down. Watch me. Are you comfortable? Great.
Mrs. Lang is sitting with her legs crossed at the moment.
Close your eyes. Now,
closing those eyes.
Deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Watch me. Now it's your turn. Let's try this 3 more times.
It's a really good exercise for your lungs, guys. Make sure you learn how to breathe
correctly. You're ready
correctly.
to meditate. Keep your eyes closed. Breathe in through your nose. Hold your breath for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And now, Release your breath, this time through your nose. Let's try this 3 more times. Now,
It's really
I want you
important
to
at the
take
moment to be
a
able to
deep
breathe
breath
correctly.
in your nose and let it out through your mouth while saying the words ha, 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 allowing your breath to come all the way out. Keeping your eyes closed, imagine a white fluffy cloud surrounding your whole body. Enjoy the peace you have created. Now, open your eyes, rub your hands together, and face them out. Send the peace you have created to everyone you love. Yay! You just meditated. I knew you could do it. Let's try this again sometime. Take care.
Okay guys, so I hope you feel nice and relaxed now and ready to get on with our lesson. Okay, so let's look at the vocabulary for life cycle. Mrs. Lang, come on, get your words out right. So life cycle, yeah, when we think of a cycle, we think about a bike. No, we're not talking about that life cycle. We're talking about the round circular shape. And we're thinking about how things start off as babies, or animals start off as babies. Then we grow and develop as toddlers. Then we get a little bit older, like you guys, about your age now. And then you go through to adolescence, which means teenagers. And then you go on through adults, like Mrs. Lang. You may actually have children yourself, so the life cycle begins. And then you get a little bit older, so we get a bit elderly. In these words here, I've got a zygote there, which literally means the egg when it contacts, and that's the first beginning of life. You'll learn a little bit more about this when you get a little bit older. Then we have the embryo, which is a bit like the chicken's egg, which is you when you're in your mummy's tummy and you're not ready to come out yet. And then you have a baby, then you're a baby, a child, and then an adult. So it's that life cycle is what we're talking about today. Vocabulary is a bit late there, Mrs. Lang. Okay, so remember, life cycles are not just about humans. We are part of the animal kingdom. So let's see what the animals do at the science farm. There we are. Let's have a look.
We're here today at Upper Walton Farm to meet some new arrivals. Let's go and explore. What's happening here? Ayu's just given birth to 4 lambs. She's been pregnant for 5 months. That's about half the time that a human is pregnant. How long until a baby lamb becomes an adult sheep? About 1 year, and then she can have a lamb of her own. That's a life cycle.
So a ewe is a female sheep. And look at their life
Let's
cycle.
go and see if we can find more life cycles on the farm.
So cute. Oh, what do you think we're going to see next?
Wow, look at these calves and their mothers. She's only 1 week old. They were pregnant for 9 months. That's about the same time as a human. Did you know that baby cows that are girls are called heifers? Our boys are called bulls. After 2 years, heifers are old enough to have their own calf. This calf has just been born. And all bigger and bigger. And that's a life cycle.
Well, guys, so that was interesting. Let's have a look at what they were talking about. So, a male cow is called a bull. It mates with a female cow. And a female cow, if it hasn't given birth, it is called a heifer. So, for all these females out there, the little cows that aren't quite young enough, but they haven't given birth, they're called heifers, okay? So, female heifer, a male is a bull. Right, cows, they are pregnant for around the same time as humans, so that's 9 months. And in fact, I didn't know that, so that's something that I will put away into my head. Let's see what else they have to say. There we are. So when a baby cow is born, it's called a calf. Can you hear? Calf. So female heifer, bull for a male, and calf for a baby. After 2 years, heifers are ready to have their own calves. Oh, and now let's have a look at the sheep. So a male sheep is called a ram. So ram for male, or a tup. Mates, and it mates with a female sheep, and that's called a ewe, okay? Not as in the letter U, but if you can see that, it's spelled with an E-W-E, ewe. Some farmers call this process tupping. Tupping. Now, I actually heard of tupping, but I wasn't sure what it meant. So it's amazing, whatever age you are, you just keep learning new things. So ewes are pregnant for around 5 months. So not as long as a human or a cow, just a little bit less than that. If you're good at maths, you can work out quickly how many months less than 9. Okay, so it's just over half the time of humans. Okay, so when we have a baby sheep, when it's born, it's called a lamb. And the process of a ewe giving birth is called lambing. So usually around sort of May or April, you have what is known as the lambing season. And this is when generally they tend to give birth. After 7 to 18 months, ewes, remember what are ewes? Female sheep, and they're ready to have their own lambs. Oh, what do we have here? So, chickens. We all know there's a big question. What came first, the chicken or the egg? So if we have a look here, the egg, every chicken starts life as an egg. The egg is laid by a female hen and it's fertilized by a cockerel. So female is the hen and the male is the cockerel. Did you know that eggs that you eat are not fertilized and could never become a chicken? Okay? So the chicks take around 21 days to hatch. And it's kept warm during that time by its mother or an incubator, and the mother sits onto the eggs. So the chick eats the nutritious yolk that it's wrapped around in and then pecks its way out of the eggshells. Okay, when it's newly born, the chicks look wet, but soon its feathers turn very fluffy, as if when they get older, the chicks will start to grow fully formed feathers. So they start off these little wet things, then they look like little fluffy things, and then the fluff forms as lovely feathers. So around about 6 months, the chicken will start to produce eggs. Did you know that a young hen is also known as a pullet? So lots of people may have eaten actually pullet chicken, but that is a young hen. Okay. So I want you to pause the video now, get your book out, have a really good think. We've mentioned it a little bit, but what do you think our human cycle consists of? Now we've had a look at the animals and we know that start off as babies. But do we have a few more cycles? What do you think? pause the video and have a really good think. Right, I hope you're back with me now. So, when you were born, you were a baby and your mum was pregnant, a bit like the cows that we saw, the heifers, for about 9 months. So before you came to school, you were a toddler. Maybe you have a younger brother or sister who is a toddler now. Now I know in Home's class, there are a few of you that have got little brothers or sisters around about 2 years old, and we call them toddlers. And that's taken from the word because sometimes they're not actually walking properly. They actually toddle around, move around and wiggle around. What other stage do you think is in our human cycle? So, the next stage is you guys. You guys are children. Yeah, so what happens? So you've gone from a baby to a toddler, and now you're a child. And then the next step, I know that some of you have got older brothers and sisters in the school. Some of them you may have in a high school, and they are teenagers. Okay, so now we have a baby, a toddler, a child, and a teenager. So eventually we all grow up to be an adult like Mrs. Lang. Okay, and it may be then you might have children of your own. And after that, we sort of come into an old age situation. Now there is a video here. We can have a quick look at this video. Oh, we won't have a little video there. You can have a quick look at the video. If you have a look at the link there, I could play it for you now. Let's play it for you now. So this shows you the human life cycle. Got quite a catchy beat to it, hasn't it?
Children. Teenager. Adult. Elderly. Baby. They need a lot of help. Babies need help for getting dressed. Babies need help for eating their food. Children. A child still needs a lot of help to be able to survive, although they are starting to learn to do things for themselves. Children still need help for getting dressed. Children are learning new rules.
Like reading and writing.
Teenagers are able to do most things without help. They are learning how to be grown-ups and survive on their own. Teenagers have more responsibilities. Teenagers get dressed and eat by themselves. Adult. Adults are fully grown. They go to work and can now have babies of their own. Adults can do things for themselves. They are extremely busy and have lots of responsibility. Adults had studied and are ready to be independent. Adults can work and take care of others. Elderly. Elderly people have worked hard during their lives. Now their bodies are getting tired and they need to rest more. They still like having fun though. Elderly people have started to get tired. Elderly people needs a lot of love. Human life cycle. Baby. Children. Teenager. Adult. Elderly.
Right, let's just pause it there. Let's take you a little bit further up to where we nearly ended it. Okay, so it says here about you've got the baby and you've got the children and the teenager. I would actually put a few more steps in there. As Mrs. Lang said, I would put baby, perhaps toddler, and then the children here. Okay, right, so in this video it talks about how we change physically. When we get older, we may get a little bit more tired, might need a little bit more rest. When we're babies, we need much more help. I really need you now to put your thinking caps on and think about when you were a baby. Write it down. What help did you need when you were a baby? If you have perhaps a new baby brother or sister, I know some of you have, think about what they need now. You might have some siblings that are toddlers. Remember, siblings means brother or sister. You might have some of those that are, what help do they need? They're about 2 years old, remember? They're still toddling around. What help do you need now? Think about how your body's changed. When you were a baby, you couldn't walk, could you? Your limbs weren't firm enough then. You know, the muscles hadn't developed. You couldn't really pick up your spoon. We call these fine motor skills when we're able to pick up things and able to pick little things up and our fingers and things. We weren't able to do those when you were a baby. So have a really good think about how things have changed for you, or recognise the differences between you or your little brother or little sister or baby brother or baby sister. What about some of you that have older siblings, like a teenager? What are the differences there? What can they do that you can't do? So I want you to really think about you and how you've changed. What about how you think? Do you think differently? Do you feel more independent? Do you feel able to do a few more things on your own? Do you have a little bit more of control about your choices? Can you say, oh, I like this, I don't like that? There are all these things that happen to us as we change through our human life cycle. Let's go on the show. Okay, so we've gone through there. So as Mrs. Lag said, pause the video, think about when you were a baby, what you needed, and when you were a toddler. So remember, a baby needs lots of help. It needs to be help feeding. It cannot walk or crawl or speak or use the toilet. There's all these things that we go through and we change. As a toddler, they can just about walk. As I said, they toddle around. They might be able to speak a few words, but they can't read or write or get dressed. Not like some of you now can. Okay, so, right, as you get older, you can read and write, or you're just starting to read and write, and you change physically. You're a little bit stronger. You're obviously grown a little bit taller. So, and you can do things a little bit more with your hands as well. You're a little bit more confident on your legs. Okay, so you're not just toddling around, you're walking around, you're running, you're climbing, you're jumping. How does that make you feel? Think about it and write it down in your books. Okay, so this is the activity Mrs. Lang is going to send you. It's your turn. So I have got some pictures here. Don't worry if you can't download things, have a look at the pictures, pause the video. You can draw little pictures, so it's a baby, toddler, child, teenager, adult and elderly. Rewind the video if you need to make use of that. Then you have some matching activities, what you can do at different ages. So, for instance, can a baby put lipstick on? No. And let's think, an adult can have their own children, their own babies. It's not something a child can do. So think about the activities. You've got, remember what they said in the video, sometimes as you get a little bit older, you need a little bit more sleep. So it's a big clue there with these soft, fluffy slippers. So have a look and link these activities to the pictures you think they go with. And then we have some more pictures for you. These ones are text, so you've got to match the picture to the activity to the text. So, for instance, born helpless, can only drink milk, must be kept clean and warm, likes to be cuddled and held. What do you think that is? What do you think this part of our human life cycle, would that be the adult? Well, they're not helpless, are they? And they don't just drink milk. Nor does a toddler. So what do you think that would link with? So you link the pictures. So you might have a baby. You link it with the activity it can do. And you link it with the text. Okay, guys. So there are other information out there. You can have a look. I've got a website here that you can have a look at. So that's an extra bit of information. And that shows you how somebody changes and develops through their lives as well. So watch the video, have a think about how you've changed and how that has made you feel. So this is, as I said, the last PSHE video that you're getting. So from next week, you'll be getting activities to do, thinking about what you want to do in year 3. You'll also be asked to add your pupil comments about what you liked last year, what you thought you did really well at, what you think you'd want to do better at. Think about those things as well, because these change throughout our lives as well. So stay safe, stay well, and till next time, see you soon. Bye for now.